Hello, my name is Suhad. I'm the educational lead in the Aurora School. Today I would like to talk to you about prompting. How do you help your student engage in the correct response? So let me first explain what prompting is. Prompting would be anything other than natural stimulus that you would need for to evoke the correct response. So for example, you walk into the kitchen, your sink is full of plates. So you're like, okay, well, I have to clean it up. No one else is telling you anything. The sight of seeing the sink full of plates is enough to evoke the response of cleaning the dishes. Now, if someone else comes in and be like, hey, clean the dishes, then that's considered a prompt. Now, there are several types of prompting. The way you can look at it is the most from least restrictive to most restrictive. The way you can look at it is how much do you have to be there to keep the student going and make sure that the response is accurate. So if we're looking at it from least to most, then you're looking at vocal prompting, gestural prompting, modeling, visual prompting, partial physical, full physical. Okay, so part of the decision making in regards to which prompt you should introduce is you knowing if the skill set is too new for the student or too difficult for the student, or if it's completely independent. So say, for example, your student is completely independent in using the bathroom, you should not be giving them any prompting at all. Meanwhile, if you are just introducing dishwashing for your student, you are more likely to use partial physical or full physical prompting. And of course, our program directors and educational leads are sending you programs that are tailored to your students. So we are going to try not to introduce something too difficult. But if you want to try something, it is a good idea to let the student try and see how much prompting they need. If the skill set is completely new, you're more likely to be successful if you're going from full physical to partial physical all the way to vocal. Meanwhile, if it's something a bit more familiar to them, it's better to do it from vocal all the way to full physical. Hi. So now I'm going to show you how to implement different levels of prompting. This is Qais. He's agreed to help me again. Thank you for being my student today.
Of course.
So let's pretend that Qais is still learning the difference between colors. So we have yellow, orange, and red. Let's pretend that we're teaching him red. So Qais, find red. So he made an error. I might do this to him to show him which is the correct response. So I'm going to be like, Qais, find red. Good, find red. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to use visual prompting. So I'm teaching Qais how to complete the sentence. So say that we're teaching him, you eat a, and he doesn't know how to complete that sentence. So Qais, you eat a
chair.
Okay, so that's incorrect. That was funny, by the way. So you eat a
apple.
So showing him an apple was the visual in this situation. It's kind of helping him, giving him the answer without me saying it. Doesn't mean that's the only way you could do it. I could also say, you eat an apple. You eat a
apple.
So that works as well. So now I'm going to show you how to use modeling. The idea is that you are modeling for the student how to complete the task. Let's pretend that I'm teaching Qais how to wipe a table. So let's make sure that your student also has a rag. That way you are modeling the movement, and that way he's imitating you. So I'm gonna say, Qais, this is wiping table. Wipe table. Good job. All right, now I'm going to show you what partial physical and full physical might look like. This is the most restrictive kind of prompting. And when you think of the word restrictive, it means that you're restricting the student's movement. So for example, if I'm right here, Qais, move. See, I'm barely stopping him. All I'm doing is I'm making sure that he's staying here. If I move all the way here, then chances are he is just able to move this. If I go all the way here, I'm more likely to restrict his movements. If you saw, I kept like a princess palm. It basically, try not to do this because that could become a source of a power struggle for your student, and you might accidentally scratch the student. Okay, so basically partial physical prompting starts all the way from here, and as you're moving down it becomes more restrictive to the point that this is the most restrictive, and this is considered hand over hand full physical prompting. Now guys, we're going to pretend that we're wiping the table, and I'm saying, guys, wipe the table. So no movement. I might start right here and kind of like push him toward the task. That was not enough, so I shift to the elbow. That's not enough. It doesn't seem like I go all the way here and see if he moves, but then if he doesn't, then I'm doing this. Try to fade that prompt, and then if it doesn't, if you can't, you stay. But say that I'm fading and he still moves, I don't need to stay there. So try to make sure that your prompting is as much as the student needs, and don't stay there too long. Another thought is that if your student does not like people to be in their bubble kind of situation, they're very protective of their space, then you shouldn't use this kind of prompting. Try to use the other levels of prompting first. So say now you are trying to see where your student is. So I'm going to demonstrate prompting from least restrictive to most restrictive. I'm not using visual, but I might use modeling. Okay, so guys, wipe the table. Okay, wipe table. That's gestural prompting. He stopped. I'm gonna be like, okay, guys, this is wiping table. Wipe table. Good. Say he stops. Then you might go to that prompting to keep him going. He stops. You might go in here again. He stops. You might go all the way here. Okay, good job wiping. So now that I've showed you every level of prompting, I just wanted to mention that the idea behind prompting is trying to evoke that correct response. You are trying to promote independence as much as possible. So basically, if they only need a list of the things that they need to do, go ahead and do that. Just write on a piece of paper, go wipe the table, go set up the table, and wash the dishes. If that's enough for your student, please go ahead and do that. If they need you there, then go ahead and do that. It's going to be very important in this process that you know what the level of prompting that your student needs. If you have any questions and concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to the program directors and the educational lead. Thank you so much for watching.